Story 1. Take life as it comes. Times will be good, times will be bad. Don't waste your time crying for those who don't deserve you. Fall in love with yourself. Be passionate. Don't be so hard on yourself. Smile at the face of life. And love to the fullest. Don't be aggressive. Don't let anger overpower you. Some people will create problems just to make you feel bad about yourself. Relax and let them go. Be positive. That helps. Don't be too excited. Don't be too sad. It won't help you with anything. Don't have any regrets. If you love someone, then go and say it to that person. At least later you won't regret that. If something goes wrong, it would be a lesson to you. Love your parents. Trust your parents. Sometimes what they say is from their experiences. So listen to them at least and then do whatever you want to. Story 2. Take care of yourself mentally, physically, and emotionally. People will come and go in your life, but you will always be there. So make yourself your number one priority. Story 3. Your life won't end just because you develop a mental illness. It takes work, patience, humility, and courage, but you'll find your way back to happiness. Story 4. Correct the degree. Don't trust anyone with the last name Wilcox. Get a trade. Save your money, and once you find the name of my wife, get both of you moved out of the country as soon as possible. Your family has always hated you, so forget them. Oh, and don't drink. Ever. You'll end up like I did. Story 5. It wasn't your fault. Don't rush into another relationship after your past one. It gets worse. Give yourself time to heal instead of looking for love with all the wrong people. Fall in love with yourself before someone else. Don't let anyone walk all over you. When I was 18, I was raped by an ex-boyfriend and traumatized, but then more or less found myself being abused again when I turned 22 by my ex-husband, with whom I soon trauma bonded. He had some narcissistic tendencies, and I'm still going through trauma therapy, but I'm trying to find myself again. I will never forget most of the things he did to me, as well as when I gave birth to my daughter. That postpartum depression hit me like a freight train. I was sent to a psychiatric ward for 3 weeks, but I was still so blind to the abuse and mistreatment until I finally wasn't. I'm 27 now, going on 28, and I'm physically free even though I'm struggling to be mentally free. Story 6. Investment tips. Nobody told me that the money I earn and want to spend also needs to be saved and invested for me to have more. And here I am, spending all my money buying books and drinks. Story 7. Please refrain from sharing content with inappropriate language or themes. If you have any other text needing correction or questions, feel free to ask. Story 8. Whenever I hear this question, I always think, I wouldn't tell my 18-year-old self too much. Live, learn, grow. Everything is happening as it should. You're going to be all right no matter what. Story 9. Quickly reject what doesn't feel right, easy, or is not working. It's a sign it's not for you, and you will arrive at what's meant to be faster. Before something significant is about to be born in your life, you will go through tough times or experience things that don't make sense, things that will try to push you off course. Keep pushing. Better is on the other side. You have to pray to tell the difference between the two. Story 10. Do not bother with college and university and follow your dreams instead. You will end up doing that anyway, but you will not waste a decade of your life studying something you hate. It is never worth it. Story 11. Create experiences. Embark on adventures. Engage in intimate relationships as much as possible and learn from them. Live your life and enjoy it. Discover new things and pursue activities that bring you joy. Story 12. Invest in your health and really see things as they are. Don't focus too much energy only looking outward, but really sit with yourself. Also, I'm proud of you for how far you've come. Story 13. Life would be a lot better if you had applied yourself sooner. Everything turns out all right, but you wouldn't have had to fight so hard to get to where you are if you had done better in high school. Story 14. Go to the university I really wanted to go to. My entire life would have been completely different. I lived close to home instead, and when my parents divorced, I was right in the middle and both took it out on me. Had I gone to that other better university, my mental health would have been much better, and who knows how that would have changed everything. Story 15. Dump the boyfriend. Don't get another one. Go to university even if you're not entirely sure what you want to do afterward. Not all your thoughts are true. You're going to be okay. Story 16. There are so many lessons I have learned since then, but none of them would stick for an 18-year-old me. I would say, 1. Spend your life learning to make a living from being happy. 2. Get therapy now. Story 17. Enjoy it. You have one more year before your body attacks your brain, and you spend the next 17 years falling apart and getting misled by the medical community. You will have multiple sclerosis. Also, don't marry him. He is going to turn into an unpleasant person. Story 18. Winning lottery numbers, followed by, don't tell your parents, lie and move out as soon as possible. Also, get therapy. They aren't bad people, just that it would be a radical positive change. Story 19. Become financially educated. Make your money work for you. Learn about investing. Stop caring about what other people think of you. They mostly only care about themselves. Story 20. Do not trust people, do not get attached to people. Focus on studies and skills. Focus on your career. Spend time watching good movies or reading good novels rather than gossiping with your friends. I do not have friends because I am not good at making friends. Plus, I'm shy and quiet. So I spend my days studying, taking classes, reading novels, and that is it. Story 21. People say that the "what's the sexiest sex you've ever had?" are the most reposted questions. Meanwhile, this topic pops up no less than every day. I wish I could blacklist these stupid "what would you say to your ex-year-old self?" posts. It's basically spam in the literal sense of the word. Story 22. Wow, great opportunity. I say, well, kid, you're really not going to be an adult until about 26. Enjoy your 19 to 26 years. You have so much freedom and so much fun. Don't start gambling. For you, you're going to have a few big wins, and it's a feeling that is almost impossible to replace. You're going to chase that feeling, not realizing your downfall in the middle of it until something needs to change because of how much trouble it caused you and close friends and family. Wait as long as you can to have kids. No one tells you this when you're in your mid to late 20s and married, but the truth is, yes, you will love them and do anything for them always. Your life, however, is for them first moving forward. It's going to be a very, very long time until you get your life back. Don't get into 100% commission sales. Very few people make enough money year after year to make it a career. Work out and eat healthy starting now and don't stop. Most importantly, don't listen to anyone that tells you otherwise. When God calls, you pick up that Bible and read. Just read and never stop. I know a lot of people that don't read the Bible daily and make God truly first, and a lot of them have lives that chase things they can't really attain. They certainly will never be truly satisfied. I know no one that makes God number one, reads his word, and has a terrible life. You're a really good kid with a beautiful heart. Story 23. Really think about the consequences of uploading those photos. I just learned about a site that uses facial recognition to find anyone's double, so I thought I'd try it out. The results yielded so many instances of my half-naked body. I'd only uploaded my photos to one site 18 years ago that has long been decommissioned, but they've been spread far and wide across many sites since then. Some of them were altered, too. Like the fully clothed verification picture, I took holding a handwritten sign with my username had been changed to say, "Black Cock," with hearts drawn all over it. Story 24. Do not worry so much about fitting in and being cool. In a few years, people will be envious of your unique quirks and individuality. Plus, being an adult is overrated anyway. Enjoy your youth while you can. Story 25. Don't get into that cab in Mexico during senior week. You will be nearly killed and dumped on the side of the road like trash. Get psychological help. You think you will be over it, but it will remain for your whole life because it is always there. Story 26. Learn a second language. It is always easier to learn when you are young, and it will come in handy in the future. Also, do not post inappropriate things on social media. It will come back to haunt you. Story 27. Okay, so there's going to be this thing called Bitcoin. It sounds stupid, but just put all the money you can afford into it the first time you hear about it. Story 28. The biggest thing would probably be something like, don't worry too hard about figuring out what you want to do with your life right away, just because you're an adult now. Most adults just pretend to know what they're doing anyway. Throughout their lives, confidence comes with time and life lived. Second would be, your worth as a person isn't defined by your achievements or a professional career, and you're not a failure or disappointing anyone if it turns out you don't want or can't have those things. Story 29. I always say, don't stay with your high school boyfriend into college. Yes, I know there are loving exceptions, but choose yourself. Whether it's different colleges or life paths, you might miss him, but you can't get back the years you missed when you could have experienced more of life. Story 30. Don't smoke weed. Learn to keep a positive mindset. Do all the things that you know work. Love and value yourself. Practice, practice, practice. Go on dates and see it as a form of getting to know people and yourself better. Get out of your head and vocalize your thoughts more. Don't get stuck in the past because you can't change it anymore. Move on and learn from it. Eat healthy and portion control. Try not to criticize people in your head because you're projecting your own insecurities, making you even more unhappy and insecure. Increase your financial intelligence. Start building your identity and sense of self now, whatever you choose to do. Achieve excellence and maintain a strong work ethic always. Try your best. Embrace mistakes and failures because they're embedded in the journey. Lean into discomfort, fear, and awkwardness because you'll eventually get through to the other side where it isn't so bad anymore. And you'll be so grateful that you did. Story 31. Don't be scared of failure while in college. You can do so much more than what you think you can. Being shy and scared might feel like your whole personality, but you've got to leave that behind. Story 32. Everything I've done since I was 18 has gotten me to where I am today, and I like where I am today. So, I wouldn't tell myself to change anything important. I guess I'd say buy Bitcoin, but a large influx of cash might have screwed up my life trajectory and relationships, so maybe not. Story 33. Do not be such an unpleasant person. Stop cheating, grow up, and be a better man. I hurt way too many people. It took too long to stop, and it took too long to accept myself again after coming to terms with the fact that I could not change the past. Now, I have a daughter and want to do everything I can to keep her away from anyone similar to who I was. Story 34. Start investing in yourself as early as now. Stop eating junk food, learn financial management, learn new languages and new technologies, since I'm still in college at that time studying technology. And most of all, start loving yourself more. Story 35. Start a Roth individual retirement account now and contribute the maximum every year. If you work for a company that offers a 401k, contribute at least as much as they will match. In some cases, you cannot start until you are 21. Live like you are still in college or just starting out for as long as you can, and invest the rest. Then reach financial independence in your 30s and live life however you want without being tied to any one job. Story 36. Lose your virginity to a woman who cares about you. Take a good woman to prom, not just one who looks good for the pictures and doesn't care about you. Don't do the Monday track workout after the snow day because it will fry your legs. Take like 2 days off. Don't bother applying to college. That gap year turns into 9+ years. Invest in Bitcoin and Tesla. Story 37. None of these people around you matter. Just do your thing and don't worry about validation or approval. Also, love is not the end goal of life. In fact, love kind of messed up your life. Story 38. I would tell myself that I am going to get hurt a lot by people I trust and love, and instead of trying to save everyone financially, emotionally, and physically, save myself first. Then, when I am on an island, reach my hand out to others. Story 39. There's a big pandemic coming, so be prepared for the world to fall apart. Don't get so bored that you buy a bunch of stuff you don't need. Save that money. Also, don't get a credit card if you aren't responsible enough. Start therapy now, you really need it. And last but not least, you're queer and that's okay. Story 40. I would tell myself not to borrow $138,000 for a civil engineering degree at a private university. This was back in 2009, and I got my degree in 2013. Most of my engineering coworkers and even managers went to public universities. $40,000 was federal and $98,000 was private. I paid off the private and I have the federal down to $6,000. Luckily, I was able to live at home and pay it down while making decent money, but I still don't have enough saved for a down payment on a house. Story 41. Look after the diabetes. Otherwise, you will end up with 6 sessions of lasering to fix all the retinopathy. Also, don't pursue that relationship. Yes, I know it's New Year's Eve. Trust me, it's not worth it. Story 42. I'm telling you, anything is possible. Don't ever give up. Keep grinding, keep hustling, shoot for your dreams. You can do anything you want, I promise you. You just have to take that first step. Take that hard step of actually doing something. Story 43. Stop your brother from drinking and doing meth. He died. Our family's biggest regret. He gets really violently angry at us when we try to stop or control him, and we just let him be because of that. We all feel that we failed him. Story 44. Drop out and go to drama school. Don't pursue a career because you think it will make a partner happy. Your goals should be yours. Get a job before drama school because the life experience and savings will make your mid-20s much easier and better. Story 45. Don't smoke, vape, or chew. Stop before you start. The old you who worked tirelessly to have a great retirement isn't going to make it to retirement and will likely die a slow, agonizing death and die broke.